Last night, he personally kicked his girlfriend of 5 years out of their home, but he had no idea. The girl he threw away was about to become someone he could never touch again. 5 years ago, Zhao was just a lonely girl running a small lemonade stand every day, until a college student walked into her life. His name was Ethan. The first time they met, he bought a cup of lemonade from her, and from that day on, he just kept coming back. Ethan started bringing his classmates to her stand, and slowly, her small business started to grow. Eventually, Ethan told her how he felt, and he gave her the home she had always wanted. Back then, Ethan had just been accepted into graduate school, but he couldn't even afford the tuition. Without hesitation, Zhao gave him all the money she had saved. It was a savings account she had built up over 5 years. Every single dollar, she earned herself. Ethan held it and promised her, after he graduated, he would give her the life she deserved. He'd make her a CEO's wife, the kind everyone looked up to, until one livestream changed everything. During the livestream, Ethan was reunited with a billionaire couple who claimed he was their lost son. Overnight, he went from an ordinary college student to the heir of a wealthy family. That night, he returned to their small apartment, but he didn't tell Zhao the truth. He told her that even though his family looked rich, they were actually drowning in billions of debt, and he said he didn't want to drag her down with him. Zhao had doubts, but after 5 years together, she chose to believe him. What she didn't know was that Ethan immediately contacted another woman, his first love from college. Her name was Madison, a girl who came from a wealthy family. Ethan told Madison that he would dump the lemonade girl soon. He even let Madison bring people over and tear apart Zhao's lemonade stand. On a rainy night, Zhao stood beside her destroyed stand, watching everything she had built disappear. But what hurt her the most were Ethan's own words. "I finally made it to the top. Are you really going to drag me back down into the mud?" Then he coldly told her to leave. Zhao took off the bracelet he made for her, a cheap bracelet that only cost a few cents, and threw it into the trash. That night, she drove her old lemonade cart through the streets. With nowhere to go, she was completely homeless. And right then, Zhao decided she was taking everything back. But when she returned to their apartment, she found the locks had already been changed. She knocked again and again, but no one inside answered. At her lowest, a taxi driver happened to pass by. The second he saw her, he stopped, because the tear mole under Zhao's left eye matched the description in billionaire Victor Zhou's missing daughter notice. The taxi driver begged her to give him a few strands of hair for a DNA test. Meanwhile, Ethan had already moved into a luxury mansion with Madison. He heard the daughter the Zhou family just found had also grown up with nothing, so he started figuring out how to use this to get close to the Zhou family. He even thought, once he married the Zhou family's daughter, he would dump Madison. Soon, the Zhou family threw a big reunion dinner for their long-lost daughter. Zhao put on an elegant dress, and under the name Zhou Yuning, she walked into the world that was always hers. Ethan and Madison also received an invitation. At the banquet, they saw Zhao again, but they didn't recognize who she really was. The moment Madison saw how she was dressed, she assumed she'd snuck in. The two of them mocked her in front of everyone. They even called security and tried to throw her out. Everyone watched, and no one believed that this ordinary-looking girl was the guest of honor. Just as Ethan reached out to pull Zhao away, a voice suddenly stopped him. "Stop!" The next second, billionaire Victor Zhou and his wife walked over. The second they saw them, Ethan and Madison completely switched up. They rushed over and explained, claiming Zhao was a fake who had crashed the party, pretending to be their daughter. But Victor Zhou didn't even look at them. He walked straight to Zhao. He stood next to his daughter and looked at everyone. "Her name is Zhou Yuning. She is my only daughter, and anyone who humiliates her is disrespecting me." The entire room went silent. Ethan and Madison stood frozen. The smiles dropped from their faces because they finally realized the girl they looked down on was the billionaire's daughter they'd been chasing, and what they threw away was exactly what they wanted most.